Hey, happy hump day. Sorry, turn on the foot massager over here. Dude, I love the foot massager my mom got me. It's legit. Check out this Scrimba swag, son. Build 11 courses for Scrimba, you get a shirt. it's magic. How's everyone doing, man? I just got off work probably about half an hour ago. I worked a little late today because I went to the dentist, and they were gonna put in my new crown, and I was a little sensitive, so I got 4 shots. It took about 2 hours, and then they said the crown didn't fit, so I have to come back in 2 weeks. It was a shitty morning. It was like 2 hours of them. It's too sensitive. Trying to put it on. Another shot. And then they finally put it on, and they filed it down. They're like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna work." Yeah, man. But you know what? Let's count our blessings, though, that we have dental insurance and we have the money to pay for this stuff. Wasn't always the case, man. So count your blessings, right? Count your blessings as you go, and be appreciative. I can tell you I am. You know. So, you know, it is what it is. Oh, man. For any of you who've caught some of my live streams, I've been working on a little side project. It's a server-side rendered Angular project. If you go to cleanjavascript.com, you can kind of see it. It's not really done yet, but it's you can kind of get an idea of what I'm going for based on what's on there. There's a whole bunch of, I won't say there's a bunch of bugs, but there's some UI issues and some content issues, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. Anyhow, cleanjavascript.com, you want to check it out. I fixed a production build issue with it last time, and a service worker issue. So now it works as a progressive web app. So if you add it to your phone, and you don't have an internet connection or cell phone signal, it'll all work and everything. So I think I'm going to add an online offline logo. I'm surprised you're able to get that domain. I bought that domain like 2 years ago. So I always knew I wanted to build this project of like, anyhow. So although it's inspired by clean code and JavaScript, it's going to be much more than that. It's going to be about JavaScript standards in general. And so I basically just wanted to build a single page application for developers about JavaScript standards, and clean code JavaScript examples already work. And so this is my first rough draft on it. It's like sort of a pre-alpha, but it's not all going to be code examples. So like the thing is, I'm gonna add a couple more code examples. Then I'm gonna add some Husky installs. So like things I would do like auto linting and spell checking, and it's all going to be about code quality and JavaScript related packages that I think are relevant. So you get the idea. Yeah, cool little thing. It's out there. It's a work in progress. Something I think is going to be pretty cool by the time I'm all done, said and done. Modern W3 schools. I don't know about that. How about best practices and standards for JavaScript? And this is the real. You want to talk about big brain plays? This is the real. This is the real big brain play right here. You have a code review. You comment like, "Hey, I think this is the best way to write the cleanest code." And they go, "No, I don't think so." And then you go, "You know what? On cleanjavascript.com, they show it exactly like this." And you don't tell them it's your site. You don't tell them it's yours. You just go, and then they go, "Oh, well, I guess if a site dedicated to clean JavaScript And then you got him, son. Big brain plays right here, baby. I mean, how are you gonna argue with that? Anyhow, man. We're playing 5D chess over here, all right? 5D chess. Am I finally comfortable with my new job? I'm getting there. Dude, I've been having a rough couple, like, I've sort of taken a step back in mental health this last week. I'm not sure what triggered it. But I feel, yeah, man, job is good. I'm definitely going faster. Things are always slower than I want them to be. Like I was like today, I was like, oh yeah, I'll have XY feature done today. No, struggling with one thing, struggling with another thing. But yeah, so these are good, man. People are very helpful. I'm able to actually build features and things like that. It's good. It's good. How have I been with my new job? Oh, Jesse, I didn't even see you in here, man. I'm good, man. Me and Jeffy B, we hop on. That's Jeff Bezos. You don't know me and Jeffy B. We hop on the Zoom calls all the time. I'm like, yo, baby, what's up? No, the inner circle with the Jeffy B. I'm good, man. How you doing, Jesse? Jesse and I worked at 2 places together. I'm good though, man. It's interesting opening up to like a new girlfriend when things aren't going well. That's interesting. I did that last night about like, oh hey, I haven't been feeling great, just so that you know, blah blah blah. Going through some things, and like, it was so uncomfortable. I felt like I was going through emotional puberty. Is the skill level on your team noticeably different from your past jobs? Oh yeah. Not to say that I haven't worked with as skilled developers, but like usually I go to usually when I go to a team, I'm one of the better developers, and for a couple of reasons. One, just time put in. 2, I'm passionate, and so like I like joining stuff. I like talking about this. Like, this is my shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is I like doing this stuff. And I can tell you that everyone likes doing software. And that may sound kind of weird, but if you've ever worked at a software company, like 3/4, if not 9 out of 10 people are just like, yo, get me my check and get me the hell out of here. Sweetheart. But and so yeah, man, they're definitely a more skilled. I mean, here's the thing, man. When you're paying, 200K plus for people, who are you gonna, when you're interviewing people, who you gonna get? You're gonna get the best of the best. Saving on the electric bill tonight, dude. My eyes are tired, man, from staring at screens. I haven't been getting great sleep, so but I've been thoroughly impressed. Let me put it that way. I always said I wanted to be the dumb guy on the team, and I feel like I finally hit that. I don't know if I like that, but I've hit that. So I have a lot to learn, which is nice. I've decided not to use stuff like Bootstrap or Tailwind. I'd rather just use Flex and Grid. Yeah, man. Do I steadily learn on weekends when you're not working and grinding and hustling? Not really. I build stuff nowadays, man. That's really what my time's spent. It's just building and enjoying. Not sure if that ever changes. I'm married 20 years and it's difficult to talk to my wife when I'm having mental health issues related to software engineering. It's not that it's difficult to me. I've actually spent like this entire last year reviewing and working on communication and stuff like that. And what I can tell you is the difficult part of it for me right now is the last year was the hardest year of my life that I can remember. And part of it was by trusting two women that I dated with zero hold, like without holding back. I just, I'm there for them. I assume they're going to be there for me. And that sort of, lack of a barrier or wall and just like complete trust, it's hard to sort of get past that and share, because then, so once you start like sharing things that are like, it's so strange, man, because it's easier. It's almost easier to talk to because it's a camera. I'm talking about these things publicly. Talk to a camera rather than your significant other who could, in this case, like your worst fear. What's your worst fear? Your worst fear is like you just get like you have a repeat of like the broken individual you were a year ago. And so you start building that trust with the person and all that sort of stuff. And so like you don't want to, especially early on, we've only been dating like 2.5 months, something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm having a rough mental health week. I'm not crazy. I'm just dying on the inside though. But yeah, man. So maybe it won't ever be easy, but it used to be. I used to not be very good at it, but now I'm better at it. But now it's harder because of like fear. But hey, like you got to work by it, and talked with her last night. This damn girl is the most supportive girl I've ever dated and caring, and so it should be easy. And I'm just like a traumatized wuss. Oh man. You've never had to use a CSS framework or anything or freelance? I mean, I've used them. I used Vuex when I worked at Symphonic Distribution because I had to. Having a lot of fun creating a small team of devs. Yeah, we'll catch up, Jesse. Yeah, I mean, I still grind. Like I was just telling you, I'm working on cleanjavascript.com. How do you think these things grow? I got to build them. I mean, that is a good example of getting more comfortable with progressive web apps, server-side Angular, things like that. The hustle period. I mean, what do you call hustling? Like I launched like several courses a year, and I build projects, and I think I have 60 repos now. Probably like 40 really, because a lot of them are throwaways. But, like I'm always working on something, man. Do you use the nightlight function for Windows? I don't know what nightlight is. I use Flux. What is nightlight? Whoa. I'm already using Flux. It's pretty much the same thing. I can tell you're much better than me. What? You still working on Nintendo Wii? Yeah, man. About 3 days a week right now. Not as hard as I used to. I used to work out on my lunch breaks, and I still do, but I'm sort of doing like a half an hour lunch, half an hour dinner because my schedule right now. So like my schedule is like 10 to 7. And I'll probably go earlier in about 2 or 3 weeks when I feel like pretty confident that I know what the hell I'm doing. And but I want to have more overlap with my West Coast teammates right now. But to do that, I usually have to have lunch and dinner, and so I split up in 30 minutes, which means that like, I have to have a better schedule with working out. And honestly, a lot of my workout time has been going to hang out with a girlfriend. So it's, as crazy as that sounds, it's like now I have more things to do. Dylan, do you think when a developer gets more proficient or at a master level, it's more or less learning the fundamentals, more building to learn different technologies? Yeah, man, I think fundamentals are core and crucial. If you memorize stuff in development, you're going down the wrong path. I mean, the fundamentals of programming can be taught in a couple hours. Variables, data structures, control flow, object-oriented programming, functional programming, solid principles. Like, we could review all that in 4 hours. It's about how you use it, though. I do JavaScript, but I mean, PHP is going to be mainly for WordPress and Laravel. Linux and Apache. I mean, I don't know. I don't really touch web servers. Will TypeScript surpass JavaScript in the future? I'm thinking it will. How do you stay motivated to work on things? A couple things. I have an extreme fear of poverty that motivates me, an unhealthy one. So that's part of it. And like, so that trauma is part of it. The other thing is like, I don't know what else to do. I'm all alone. Like, it sounds very sad, but it's true. I'm all alone. Like, it's just me and my dogs. Like my best friend and like confidant and the person I trusted beyond belief was an ex of mine. And like once she left Florida, like I'm definitely, it's just me and my dogs. Not say I don't have friends or anything like that, but like most of the friends I have are introverts or they're married, and I don't have any family. So it's like, what else do I do? So I work. So I work out of boredom sometimes. So I should be able to tell a girl I like anything. Yeah, man. But that's not what I'm saying is the issue. It is a unrational fear. You can have the most supportive person in the world, but if you are fearful, then you have to open up about it and work through it. It's never as bad as you think. But it's something I did recently. So Hey Dylan, as you have grown in your developer career and gained more experience, it has a question about why you not have a degree has been important in determining to hire you at a job. Next answer about fundamentals. Nowadays, no. I mean, if we're just gonna be pretty real, I get hired for what I can do and what I can bring to the table, not with piece of paper I have or don't have. Are there companies that aren't going to hire me? Sure. Is the second biggest company, one of the FANG companies in the world, going to pay me a damn near $250,000 to do for them without a degree? Yeah. Does that look great on a resume? Yeah. It's not something I think about anymore. You know, before this, I worked at PricewaterhouseCoopers. Did very well for myself there. And they are ranked in the top 30 best companies to work for. So it's like, did I have to do a lot to overcome that? Yeah, sure. Do occasionally I think about going back? Yeah, but not for the reasons you think. I think about going and getting an education degree to be a teacher one day. Is it worth increasing your typing speed? No, guys, you don't get paid money to be a fast typer as a developer. You get paid to take the abstract and make it concrete, and to make sure that it's made of concrete and not sticks and stones. Is TypeScript just JavaScript 2.0? It's just typed. JavaScript is a dynamically typed language. TypeScript is a statically typed language, and it's a superset of JavaScript. Part of the experience of life, man. How's the book going? Not very well. I've transitioned to clean JavaScript. Do you think you'd be working at Amazon 5 years ago? Dude, I didn't think 30 seconds ahead 5 years ago. And part of that has to do pretty much exclusively with the fact that I was just like, in fight or flight mode. So it was yeah. I think this last year it was like the time where I stopped sprinting and started being more of a marathon runner in my life and career. And that's been much healthier for me, physically, mentally. Even with a little bit of a hiccup this week, it's just dude, this foot massage is fire. I'm going to bed early tonight, though. I need to get some rest, and I got to take my girl to the airport at 4 a.m. She calls me. She goes, "Hey, I have some bad news." I was like, "She's breaking up with me? What's like? Who starts a conversation out that way?" Like, it's like, oh, I was like, "Oh, you just need to ride to the airport." Just, okay. I dropped out of UC Berkeley. It's a good school, man. How fast do you think you'll get used to the Seattle weather? That's funny, man. I was talking with I have a mentor that I talked to at work, and one of the things I was asking was about relocation and stuff, and just like recommended areas to look at, and where's a good place to rent, where's a good place to buy, because he lived there for 5 years, and he Anyhow, he's like, I was like, if my girl and I still dating, I'm gonna ask her to come with me. And he's like, yo, she's on the fence. Come in July. That's when the weather's the best and there's less rain. So I'm planning a trip out there in July if we're still dating. How hard it would be to convert from full stack to back end dev with no JavaScript experience? I don't know, man. Just go for it. Dylan, how old are you, man? You look like you're in your mid to late 20s. I'm 33, man. I'm a boomer. I think the stat I saw earlier was that the average No, I'm just kidding. I said that earlier because like the average age for a software engineer is like 31.6 in the United States, so I'm above average when it comes to age. Been following you for a little over 2 years now. Got a job a year ago. Had a friend offer me a 90K job, but I didn't keep up with my technologies last year and couldn't meet the requirement based on that. Got to keep on the grind, guys. Yeah, man. Above average and everything, even. You enjoyed the review of his book? Yeah, man. I like John's book. I know John's gone a little bit off the deep end lately. And a lot of people are trying to cancel him, but I think John generally means well. You're getting anxiety about your channel? Yeah, it's definitely got nothing to do with my channel, man. I don't care about my channel. Let's just say I don't care about my channel. My channel's for me. It's not really for other people, so like when you take that approach where you just like, hey, I'm just sharing my journey. If you like it, great. If not, then like you don't really care too much about what other people have to say about your journey. So it's just one of those things. So Tech Rally, the first thing I would say to you is if you're not doing well because people are sending you negative comments, what I'd advise for you is to start banning the people who talk shit. And why would I say that? Well, negative people, and I've cut out negative people from my life in a couple different ways, from even the YouTube channels I watch. Like I used to watch Joshua Fluke all the time, and I wish Josh the best, without a doubt. I like him. I think he's a good guy, but there's just so much negativity that comes from his channel that's just not good for me. So I've started cutting out things like that. And cut out the negative commenters. I'm not saying critics, but if you're getting a lot of hate, remove it. It's a digital world. It's easy. The next thing is clarify. You don't think Joshua Fluke's negative? I'm not saying he's wrong. I actually think Josh gives great advice. I think he has. By the way, I think Josh is right about a lot of what he's saying. And I think he gives great advice. I'm simply saying it's just nothing but negativity. And that's what sells. So I get it. Anyhow, I like Josh, just for the record. I think he's doing some good stuff. It's just I can't do it anymore. It's not just about him; it's other things as well. So the other thing I would say is, and this is kind of hard. This is kind of hard. Clearly define what is giving you stress and anxiety. Because all stress and anxiety is a reaction to fear. So I talked a little bit about my mental health issue, right? That I'm having right now. It's like, what am I having stress and anxiety about? Emotional turmoil and not being able to talk about it. Okay. So I'll talk about it. Why does that give me stress and anxiety? Because of fear. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of mentally being in a worse state than I am now, like I was the year before. Okay, so what's giving you stress and anxiety about your channel? Is it your channel failing? Is it that you're financially committed to your channel in the sense that you need your channel to succeed to pay your bills? Is it that you're all in? Like, what is it? Clearly define, and tell us, for that matter. Talk about it. What is it you're afraid of? And the first thing I'll tell you when it comes to stress and anxiety is when it's not out in the open, it's always so much worse. It's always so much worse because your mind will always assume the worst case scenario. While the reality is it's never that. And so define what it is you're afraid of. Define what it's giving you stress and anxiety. Is it that you feel a responsibility because you're being successful? Is it a bit of imposter syndrome? Why do you think that is? Really think about it. Do I have no desire to travel? I have a ton of desire to travel. Did you ever watch Devin Crawford? I don't think so. Let me see here. No. I tend to be naturally pessimistic as well, which is why I like Josh. Okay, Tech Rally. So I don't give unsolicited advice anymore. Between people that add me on YouTube people who add me on social media, on LinkedIn, emails. So what I would tell you, man, is first off, I don't owe anybody in here anything. Let's keep that straight. I take my time and energy to build resources, to answer questions, to help the coding community on my terms. I am the creator, viewer, and subscriber. That's not to say that I don't appreciate people. That's not to say that I don't have love for subscribers and I've become friends with some, but this is on the terms of what works for me in my life. And I owe nothing, as I'm giving away knowledge for free, much like yourself. Why do I say that? Because as you go and you get more well known, there are going to be people who are going to feel entitled to you and your time. Imagine that. Imagine giving something out for free, taking your time and energy to go and share your knowledge and give it away for pennies. You know what my YouTube channel makes me just in ad revenue? It's like $400 a month. Do you know how much I make a day? A day before taxes, I make about $1,000. So from a numeric perspective, it's a minuscule amount of money in my life. And from a time investment standpoint, it is a decent time investment, although I don't do as much as I used to. The point I'm trying to make is that this is something that I do to support the coding community at this point in my life, to give back, to do what I can to help. And it's fun. I enjoy it. But I do it for me. And I owe nobody anything. So, Tech Rally, what I would tell you is that, one, there's not a model in which you can go and give everyone 100%. Matter of fact, it's not a healthy idea anyhow. Number two is if people want one-on-one attention, they can pay for it. There's nothing wrong with that. I come on here once or twice a week and I answer all your questions, right? Here you have a self-taught software engineer with about 5 years experience who works at Amazon. Probably one of the best resources you're going to get access to for free. Twice a week. You got a question about your career? I'll do my best to answer it. You want to know my opinion about something? I'll do my best to answer it. But as far as a resource goes, free resource in a generalized setting chat group. Video chat, right? Live stream. You want my undivided attention, you are not entitled to it. But it is available for a fee. You pay me $150 an hour. I'll sit down and I'll give you'll answer your questions, so on and so forth. Most won't pay, and that's okay, Tech Rally. So Tech Rally, it's okay that they don't pay. And a matter of fact, you don't even need to, when I get a message, I simply say, hey, I don't really answer questions, but if you want to book a mentoring session, it's $150 and we can sit down for an hour and I'll do my best to answer it. I just get too many messages. I have a canned response. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel I've been in the same shoes, so I understand that like it feels awkward at first. But you have to understand you're not in a normal circumstance. You are in a circumstance in which you are going out to tens of thousands of people. And most will take. That's what I'm trying to say, is they will take it from you. Every ounce, if you let them. And if they truly value you at not everyone's going to be able to pay, and that's okay. Sorry. There's other ways that we can give back. You give back on your channel in various ways, right? We as content creators owe nothing to anyone. I'm here to support myself, give back to the coding community in the ways that I can and that I'm comfortable with. And you need to feel comfortable enough to be able to do that. And that's okay. So glad you like the channel, man. What advice would you give someone located in Africa just to make $500 a month? I couldn't tell you. This is just not something I have in me, in my personal experience. I will say that a lot of the people I hire off from Fiverr are from Africa or the Middle East. So doing thumbnails, video editing, things like that for a cheap amount of money, something to consider. Vlogging the ups and downs, not only with your career but personal, it makes me root for you, want you to succeed more. I'm trying, man. It was so weird trying to have this conversation last night because it's just one of those things where it's like I have so many hangups because of this last year. I never had this issue before. I was just, hey, I'm not doing well, blah blah blah. But it happens, right? You gotta work through it. And it's so funny too because it's like my relationship with my girlfriend, I logically know is very strong. Like I met her mom like a week ago, right? And like we're talking about future plans and trips and things like that. Like things are going well. But even so, it's like your unconscious brain, you're not even unconscious, just your fears fly up to the surface. My girlfriend is a psycho. What do I do? Well, I've dated. This is going to be hard to believe, but the last 3 girls I dated before. This says something about me without a doubt. Either that or I have bad luck. But the last 3 girls I dated before my girlfriend all were bipolar. Clinically assigned with bipolar medication. What I can tell you is that was enough for me. That even like what I could tell you is that I could never do that again. So I'd bounce, dog. If you really are concerned that you have met someone who truly has mental illness, you can fight the good fight if you want. I don't have it in me anymore. What I can tell you is about true mental illness. So dating someone that you care about with true mental illness. And I'm starting to realize this about my long-term girlfriend, that I think there's something there, is that it infects you. There is crazy out there. There's mental illness that causes you to have mental illness if you're around it enough. I truly am a believer in this, so I'd run. What's your opinion on God? Oh my God. Not something I really think about. Would you say it's a relatively stressful career? I would say that 70% of devs are stressed out of their mind. I would say that if there's a book I'd recommend on how to manage your stress levels, it'd be The Clean Coder. That really helps me. Also, not living paycheck to paycheck and not needing a job and keeping my cost of living down low. These are all things that have helped. But yeah, man, mental health is nothing to joke with, man. So, and if you're in it to win it, you've been dating for a couple of years, get her help, man. Couples therapy. I begged my ex-girlfriend before she left to California to go to couples therapy with me, because it was finally apparent that like we were just both out of it. She won't go though. So she threw a trash can? No, I don't do. It's time to go, dog. There's plenty of fish in the sea, man. It sucks, but it is what it is. The second girl I ever dated, she looked me dead in the eyes. I'll never forget this. My girlfriend now and I joke about it. She looked me dead in the eyes and she said, "Dylan, you're a fucking loser. You'll always be a fucking loser, and you'll never do better than me." Then she dumped me. That's literally. Yeah, man. That's rough to take when you're like 19, dude. I'll be honest, man. Dude, at 19, that's a hard thing to stomach, dude. Um, that's a real story. This is. Oh man. Yeah, man. How do you meet new devs during quarantine? I don't know, online stuff. She based on looks. Are you saying I'm ugly? Are you saying 19-year-old Dylan is ugly? Um, yo, man, I don't think I'm like. I don't think I'm like a supermodel, but God, just call me ugly like. um. All right, Brent. As far as the transferring, I'd recommend it your current workplace to see if you can transfer. That'd be my number one recommendation. If that opportunity doesn't exist, start building projects, start studying, getting fluent in these things, and start interviewing. Say I'm a 6. Oh my God. That's below average. I don't want that, man. Yo, as long as I average up to like an 8. You're like an 8? Dude, whew. Nazareth, my man. Where's Nazareth? Let's go. Boom. Modded, baby. I need the comps. I need the compliments. Yeah, man, I don't. My last girlfriend was gorgeous, and like the girl I dated, there's this gorgeous goth girl I was dating, but she was bipolar. She was super nice. She was bipolar. I don't date women for looks anymore. I would never. Dude, that is, you talking about a young man's game? Dating people for looks is a good way to get your heart broken, get your wallet empty, and get your mind messed up. I need this in my life. You know what like crazy attractive people give you? They give you like highs like you've never had, and then lows like you never want. And if you do one of these, you'll come back to here at one point and say, "Nah, this is good enough for me, dog. This is good enough for me. I can't do this no more. Dude, I only got one of these in me. I only got one of these." Because what you have to understand is that people with mental illness, this is their, and like, you know, this is their life. They go in these waves. They like normal waves, right? We have ups, we have downs for normal people. People with mental illness, you're living in their world, baby. You're in their world. Dude. So my ex was like that, man. Gorgeous girl, extremes ups, extremes downs. I can't do it, man. I can't. Whew. One moment nice and sweet, another you're wondering if she's gonna throw hands at you. Like it's not, dude. It's not a good. It's not. Listen, man. You do that once or twice, and you'll be done with it. Hopefully, I like to learn my lesson quick. Like, how many mental health crises do you need in your life before you're like, you know what, man? This next one I might not come back from. You want you want to know the real mind thing that's kind of crazy is, of the few women I've dated this year, 2 of them were intimidated by certain aspects of success I have in my life, whether it's financially or career related. And that caused issues. That's a weird situation to be in, where they're picking up on their own insecurities and throwing them at you. That's a strange thing. I seem really grounded. I don't know, man. You know, I was telling my girlfriend last night, I was trying to think of a weird way of saying this, but my dad called me 2 days ago, and he goes, you know, how are things with Catherine? I was like, they're good. And then he goes, like, here's the $1 million question. You know, have you talked about going to Seattle? It's like, yeah, we've talked. If, you know, That's way down the road, but if things are going well, we have a plan. Okay. So do you how did he say this? This was so fucking weird. He goes, so do you feel more emotionally connected to her? I said, what? He's like, do you feel emotionally connected? I was like, Dad, we've only been dating a couple months. He's like, good. I like to hear that. And I go, why? He's like, because normally you are to the moon, when you first start dating. So, and it's true. And part of it is most of my relationship has been very unhealthy because I've done the ups and the downs, man. And whew, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die 10 years early for that last one. But I was talking to Kat about this of like, don't take this as like I don't care for you or anything, but like I think we have a healthy relationship and like we don't live in a world of extremes. There's like a steady uptick of appreciation and love and caring and respect instead of this whoo you can't do GME, whew. GME is not the you don't want to Wall Street bets your love life. Let me put it that way. No Wall Street bets of the love life, dude. It ain't gonna work out for you. Yeah. Also, all right. So, why are we talking about this? Well, that's just kind of what we do here. But something I want to let you know is that the when your mental health and your emotional health are all over the place, it's hard to do side projects. It's hard to focus. It's hard to do your job. Um, at my last job, my tech lead suggested I go to therapy because, like, you could tell how distraught I was from my breakup and my performance dipped. And luckily, I'm a high performer. I did well and I pulled through and all that sort of stuff. So, like, it all worked out. But, like, it impacts you. So, like, it's important. How did I make my profile pic? Oh, it's from My Royal Portraits. Where you live and why you decided that? I came to Florida originally to get out of California. Florida was one of my top picks because of the no state tax and low cost of living. That's pretty much it. I got my first job out here, and it's like, cool, it meets the list. So, data lab theory. This is what I tell you, man. If this is her first like mistake, like she threw a trash can, I don't know. I'd have to see, like, did she push the trash can or she like kicked it? And I don't know. It doesn't sound good. What I would say is I'd sit down with her and I would say, listen, Bae. The way that you handled your frustration is unacceptable. And what I'd like for us to do is go to an anger management class together and a communications class together so that we can work through this and this doesn't happen again. And if she refuses to go to either one of those classes, break up with her. Because what that means is that she doesn't value enough to work on things with you. And even if she doesn't think something's wrong, she doesn't respect you enough that you came to her civilly, said, hey, this upset me. These are some options I have on the table of us being able to move forward. And if she doesn't want to do it, what that means is that she doesn't care how you feel. And so move on. That'd be my advice. can I ask you what the story behind the picture you commonly use to look at wearing a bib? It's really just a picture I like. There's kind of a story behind it. My royal portraits. You have to order a portrait and I do a digital print. Yeah, man. I was at Joe's Crab Shack. It was like a victory dinner. April took it way back in the day, about 5 years ago at this point, right before I came to Florida. It was I took, I was low on money, but I was like, we're going to celebrate. I'm getting a dinner. And we had a nice dinner. And the next day I drove out to Florida for my dev job. But I just like the picture. I'm right outside Tampa. I'm about 20 miles outside Tampa. So Joseph, what I'd say is Florida, Texas are both excellent options. Yeah, man. I like Josh. Josh and I see things a lot of the same way. I can't pedal in the negativity anymore. I try to be as honest and transparent as I can. If I notice anything different between FANG coworkers and non-FANG coworkers, passion for software is definitely the most noticeable, as well as skill. No, that would be the two. Most people hype up debt and living in a very commonplace. What you have to understand is living paycheck to paycheck is the majority, and going in debt is the majority of people. So, like, you're going against the grain. Hey, baby boy. Dude, I can't even imagine having like 1,000 square foot apartment with both these dogs and another person in Seattle. You can't even see Gator. Okay, give me your paw. The paw, Gator. Oh, man. Shit, I don't remember what time my girlfriend said she's getting off work. I'm going to call it at 10 here. I'll talk for another 20 minutes or so. Texas is perfect. Love my shirt. Yeah, man. Scrimba. They sent me a mug, a shirt. I got a shirt for my girl. I got 2 shirts for me, a mug, a sticker, and a shirt for Kat. So, would you ever sacrifice sleep to learn a code? I did. I sacrificed everything. Literally everything. Friends, family, money, relationships. Whew. What's my next career goal? Probably get promoted. I don't know, man. It's like, like my next goal isn't career related. My next goal is like family related, relationship related. Like, it's to focus on my current and potentially future relationships and make sure they're successful and happy, and that you know, I'm doing the marriage and kids things and the power couple thing and all that sort of stuff. So as far as my career goal, really it's just keep doing what I'm doing. It's been working pretty well. So build some courses, build some side projects, speak at some talks, um, speak at more conferences. I'd like to write my book. I just don't think I'm gonna get to it. It's such a big endeavor. Um, um, but I suppose if I was to think about my next career goal, it'd be one of two things. It would either be to be promoted into management or be promoted into sort of the next tier of dev. I'm not really quite sure which one yet. Um, I think management. I go back and forth on this. Um, I think I'd be a good manager. And I think I'd enjoy it because I like writing code, but I like writing code tenfold more for myself than I do for work. I don't know, man. I've had dev friends who've gone into management and have hated it. But I don't know, I think I'd be good at it. And I think I'd enjoy it. The products, I'll talk about it, man. How long do you want to stay in Seattle? Well, if everything works out, I'd like to stay in Seattle till the end. That sounds a little dramatic, but I truly do mean till death do us part. Why did I say that? I setting down roots is a hard thing to do. I've done it for about 4.5 years in Florida. Seattle's a great tech city. I've visited Seattle on an interview with Microsoft. I liked it quite a bit. So I I'd like to, there's lots of opportunity in Seattle. Not to say like, oh, I'm unhappy with Amazon or anything like that, but like lots of opportunity with Amazon in Seattle, as well as other, tech companies. It's a tech hub, Seattle, which is right up my alley. It's a beautiful city. Lots of opportunity, no state tax. So it's as close to family as I'd like it to be, which means it's like a 1 to 2 hour flight. So if everything works out well, I'd like to set some roots. Stability is crucial for me. What I think about Shopify development? No. Where'd you even get this? No. God. I don't know where they got this tape roll. Just chewed up a tape roll. I want to end up living between two cities. Yeah, man. It's not a bad idea. So I'm actually holding on to my my house here when I go to Seattle. I'm gonna turn into a rental, but at some point in time, I'll either sell it or I'll have a secondary house in Florida. I don't know. We shall see. What about Switzerland? I don't know anybody in Switzerland, man. The things you have to remember, man, is I'm an old boomer, all right, and my parents are getting older. So I gotta get a little closer to my mom's and my dad's. When am I planning to go to Seattle? It's kind of up in the air. All right, have a good one, Joseph. Hey, baby boy. Baby girl, you can't chew on shit. Oh. Okay. Let's chill. I know. What's with the dark room? We're emo today, bro. Mental health emo issues, dog. No, it's the Australian Shepherd. Ugh. 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 Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what I would if I would be a better manager or developer. Part of me is it's the grass is greener. Another part of it is trying something new. Border Collie? Yeah, they're both Australian shit. Get up here, Gator. Gator up. Oh, come on. Oh. Gator. God. No. God. Where'd you even get that? What is that? Best YouTube channel recommended for programmers? I don't know, man. There's a ton. Eric has a whole repo dedicated to it with like 3,000 stars. Check it out. Oh, got the belly. Best advice for like building a database? Spend a lot of time thinking about your schemas. What are you doing, Crazy Eyes? Ooh. All right, guys, I'm gonna go, man. It's been fun. It's been real. I'll see you next time. Bye.